Start streaming. Facebook is online. YouTube is online. Can you see? Can you see? Test 1, test 2, test 3. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. YouTube is online. Facebook is online. So we have Facebook.
Go to your page?
Hmm?
We go to your page?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, Charlie Charles or MDIN?
Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Let's see what the show looks like for our test before we close back off here. So do this. Do this. Transition.
Hi, Junior, and all the individuals that I coach and families that have helped put financial plans together for the future and protection. We always talked about planning and being intentional about what you do. That's why it's important to talk about planning what your wealth is, how to receive your wealth, how to maintain your wealth, and how to manage it. So in the series that we're going to have here, we're going to give you the basics in finance, give you an understanding that you need to have multiple streams of income. And also in that process, we'll give you some of the secrets that I've worked with different families over the last 20 years so they're successful in planning their future. Of course, we're going to talk about starting your own business. We're going to talk about real estate. Also at the same time, what type of assets you should have in your portfolio in order to have your money work for you 24/7. All that is important in the legacy of wealth that you leave your family. And that's why we named it this series, Legacy of Wealth. We'll have videos, we'll have experts talking separate issues, also projects that you can do in order to make sure that you have the knowledge and information you need to maintain, increase the income in your life and show you how to manage that income correctly. Here on Legacy Wealth, only on MDINradio.com.
That's a discussion, right?
Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6, test 7, test 8, test 9, test 10. So you have a 10-second delay here. And we're talking about what we always talk about. Can you hear me over there? Test 1, test 2. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6, test 7, test 8, test 9, test 10. You got a 10-second delay. Can you hear it? Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, test 6,
This coming through. Turn that
test 7, test 8, test 9, test 10. Also, we need to do another quick check here. You can call this number right here. We're going to play that good song again.
Hi, my name is Charlie Childs Jr., and all the individuals that I coach and families that have helped put financial plans together for the future and protection. We always talked about planning and being intentional about what you do. That's why it's important to talk about planning what your wealth is, how to receive your wealth, how to maintain your wealth, and how to manage it. So in the series that we're going to have here, we're going to give you the basics in finance, give you an understanding that you need to have multiple streams of income. And also in that process, we'll give you some of the secrets that I've worked with different families over the last 20 years so they're successful in planning their future. Of course, we're going to talk about starting your own business. We're going to talk about real estate. Also, at the same time, what type of assets you should have in your portfolio in order to have your money work for you 24/7. All that is important in the legacy of wealth that you leave your family. And that's why we named it this series, Legacy of Wealth. We'll have videos, we'll have experts talking separate issues, also projects that you...
Test 1, test 2, test 3. Say something.
Yes, congratulations. Your 10th year
One more time.
working in the vineyard, blessing God's people.
One more time.
Thank God for you, man.
Yeah, we get an echo. All right, one more time.
Doing a great job in the community.
One more time.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Yes,
Is that coming through over there?
yes, yes. Yes.
All right, hold on 1 second here. We are still testing. Back to the transition.
Hi, my name is Charlie Childs Jr., and all the individuals that I coach and families that have helped put financial plans together for the future and protection, we always talked about planning and being intentional about what you do. That's why it's important to talk about planning what your wealth is, how to receive your wealth, how to maintain your wealth, and how to manage it. So in the series that we're going to have here, we're going to give you the basics in finance, give you an understanding that you need to have multiple streams of income. And also in that process, we'll give you some of the secrets that I've worked with different families over the last 20 years so they're successful in planning their future. Of course, we're going to talk about starting your own business. We're going to talk about real estate. Also, at the same time, what type of assets you should have in your portfolio in order to have your money work for you 24/7. All that is important in the legacy of wealth that you leave your family. And that's why we named it this series, Legacy of Wealth. We'll have videos, we'll have experts talking separate issues, also projects that you can do in order to make sure that you have the knowledge and information you need to maintain, increase the income in your life and show you how to manage your income correctly. Here on Legacy Wealth, only on MDINradio.com.
All right, so you're still on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if I can get this through. Mix. So I think I hear you. Test 1, test 2. Say something.
Yes, test 1, test 2.
One more time.
Test 1, test 2.
One more time.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing.
Okay, I can hear you. Let's go ahead and bring back this right here. Transition. Test 1, test 2. You can hear me? You can hear me?
Nope.
Test 1, test 2. Test 1,
I
test
can
2.
hear you now.
Okay. So we have this. I need to be able to hear you, and they need to be able to hear the interview. So, what's your name again?
Elderboro.
Okay. And what we're going to do here, I'll try one more thing here. All right, we need to. I need to get a long video here. Hold on a moment here. Source. Okay. Browse. Nope, don't want that one. Footage families. Okay. I need. So I got to figure out what it is here. Broadcast right now. All right, we get it worked. So, what we need to do is this. You still on the line? All right. This is what we can do. Since that's not working, we're gonna do this right here. Other bros, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, that's what we're gonna have to do. All right, we'll hang that up. Feedback. All right, we're gonna find. I did find a couple things real quick here. I need inspirational stuff. No. 702. Man, this is very interesting. Here we go. I'm gonna work this right here. Okay, that's what we're right there. Okay. That's an CD drive. Alright, we'll do another one. And give us some time to put this together. Not Destiny, but Entrepreneur. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start. And we'll have to come back. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon. This is Charlie Childs, host of the $1 Million Idea Network Radio Show. And we're here broadcasting live from the great city of Charlotte. And we want you to know and understand that we are taking a special edition here today for our 10th anniversary. First of all, I'll be up front. I'm not going to be able to get through everything I need to get through. But in that process, that's why you have a part 2. So understand this. Today, we will have a part 2 this coming Thursday. Today, we have a special guest. They'll be coming on about 7:30. Kid Capri will be talking about his organization and what he has going on this Sunday here in Charlotte. So we're going to go ahead and start the show. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here today and help us celebrate this. And we're going to start right now. Welcome back to the MDIN Radio Show, and we're broadcasting live here today. And we're going to talk about what we always talk about, is getting you across the finish line, getting you to the top of the mountain to see what the Lord has for you. And in that process, turn around and tell your story. Now, we're going to do right now, we're going to play what we always play here, called The Entrepreneur. I want you to think about these words, think about the music, think about the time, think about things that you're going through to get across the finish line. We want you to know that you're not by yourself, but the work does pay off. We'll be right back after this.
What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? In a world of inaction, overpromising and underdelivering, every second man seems to claim himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that would never call himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that is happy to work while all others are out partying. An entrepreneur's drug is success. He is addicted to success. And finally, the entrepreneur knows one simple fact. I will make it, maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely.
You have to hustle. You have to think outside of the box to make things happen when it seems impossibly difficult for anything to happen. To continue to get up off of the canvas when you are beaten down relentlessly.
Win or learn. I never lose. I will succeed, not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. I will take action when others hesitate. I will think big when others don't. I will sacrifice when others won't. I will dare to dream of greatness when others fear it. I will outwork my competition day and night. I am the captain of my fate, the master of my soul, the boss of my dreams, the king of my goals.
You have to be a leader, to be unique, to be hungry always and never satisfied. Proud, but never satisfied. To be followed by the competition. To take criticism and negativity and use it to build your greatness, to survive the storms and the tough moments, to be humble in the good times. It is sacrificing your today for a better tomorrow. It is living a few years of your life like others won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like others can. That sacrifice, the dedication, the commitment, the discipline. Only rare human beings have these qualities. Only the very best among us. Then there's failure. Because we all know that it is coming. It is human nature. I mean, find me a successful human that has never failed. You can't. They don't exist. The only difference between the extremely successful among us in any field and the unknown, the only difference, the successful guy didn't give up. He found a way when there seemed to be no way. The other guy, he threw in the towel. Failure is simply learning another way not to do something. There are great lessons in failure.
When it comes to success, there is rarely ever a time when luck comes into play.
Hard work, however, always comes into play. There is no greater satisfaction in life than that of hard work paying off. No greater satisfaction than knowing you are self-made. Take action while all others are sitting on their hands. The great difference between the somebodies and the nobodies very often only comes down to who is willing to take action, who is willing to put in the work, the grind. Are you willing?
Welcome back to the $1 Million ID Number Radio Show. Test 1. Mass preference. There we go. Test 1. It's not working. Go to this here. Here. Go to this here. Go to this here.
New foundations for families. Family. We do everything for our families today.
Test
But New Foundation for Families right now wants to teach you how to take you from where you're at right now to get you to the family where you want to be. The family that holds together, the family that helps together, that works together. All tools, all strategies that you can use to get to the next level in your family, because your family truly is your legacy. Join me. Listen on MDINradio.com. The house of love that you have to intentionally build with your family. Be blessed and highly favored. I'll see you later.
Welcome back to the $1 Million ID Number Radio Show, TV, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Talking about what we always talk about here, and that's getting across the finish line, the top of the mountain. And we're very excited about this year, and we're starting our 10th anniversary season. And we're going to have some surprises for you. One of the things we have coming up is our 10th anniversary tour, and we'll be queuing up some video for you to talk about some things we're going to talk about, some of the activities we're going to have going forward this year. Well, one of the things we want to start out with was something inspirational and something that's motivational, because that's what we talk about. It's my job to give you one thing to think about, change it to the positive, something in your spirit, soul, mind, and body. And in that process, understand that you're supposed to tell your story. So we're going to take a brief break, listening to the $1 Million ID Number Radio Show here on MDINradio.com. TV, video, etc., etc. So this is a new entity. Also waiting for our guest to come up, and we'll be right back after this. Test 1, test 2, test 3. second. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Test 1. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. Let's go back. Hear that? Let's listen. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. It's very important for that you get across the finish line and get to the top of the mountain. One of the things we talk about all the time is Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale has been cut from the cloth of over 50 years ago. You understand that this information that he always talks about, that we always talk about, is that you have to be intentional what you feed yourself, your spirit, soul, mind, and body. What you think, you become. And one of the lines I've heard before, you believe you're going to win, you're going to win. If you believe you're going to lose, you're going to lose. And so we're trying to check there. We're checking on the challenge with the audio. So let's take a quick check here. All right, we're going. Yeah, we're talking about what we always talk about here. We're also waiting for our guest, special guest here, Kid Capri. We're going to be doing some multitasking here to get this thing across the finish line. Also in the same process, we're going to talk about some projects and do some video and audio interviews we've done in the past, so you can take a look at it. And so we're going to slowly be pulling that up here. We've been preparing for a minute and a half. We just had a few technical difficulties, but we're getting through that in due diligence as quickly as possible. And so with that being said, understand this. Be intentional what you think. Be encouraged that it is not over till the Lord has the final word. And you too can obtain the victory, because the victory is already yours. We'll be right back after this brief break.
New foundations for families. Family. We do everything for our families today. But New Foundation for Families right now wants to teach you how to take you from where you're at right now to get you to the family where you want to be. The family that holds together, the family that helps together, that works together. All tools, all strategies that you can use to get to the next level in your family, because your family truly is your legacy. Join me. Listen on MDIN Radio MDIN.com. The house of love that you have to intentionally build with your family. Be blessed and highly favored. I'll see you later.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We have a little noisy background here, but it's all good. Coming up, we're going to be talking about some of the people that have been on the air with us, from Ms. Linda Sutton to Ryan Jorel to Mr. Hamilton, J. Bert Freeman, and also we found the lost interview of Ms. Ross. So very excited about that. And also, these have been playing in the best of all this last week. Stephen Gatter. Also, we have Mr. Brian McNeil. I just want to say thank you to all the people out there that are excited about us and about what we're doing next. So we're in it to win it. But it also takes the team to make the dream come true. So one of the things we always talk about here is that we have two shows all the time. One that's specific about inspiration and starting your week up, and that is Inspiration Monday. And we have the best of Inspiration Mondays on today. And also, you have to finish the week with Victory Friday. Yes, it's important to get across the finish line, but also you have to acknowledge all the steps that you take in order to get across the finish line. We're very excited about that. And we're going to pull some more video up here. Give us a moment here. And we're going to talk about what we always talk about here. Give you some examples of the things that we have had done and done in the past. So we'll be right back with. We're going with Matsu M. We came across Matsu M very, very early when we started the programming, and he introduced us to different people around the country that used to inspire and to encourage those across the country and in the world today. Also, a gentleman named Nick Vidjic. I'm going to play a brief episode for him. It talks about hopelessness and how if anything's going on in your life right now, once you listen to this man right here, Mr. Nick Vidjic, your problems will appear very small. You'll understand, place you on pause for a moment, you understand why, because how he deals with his situation, you should be able to deal with yours. We'll be right back. Okay. We're going to. Welcome back. Again, we're talking about what we always talk about, getting across the finish line. We're talking about Mr. Nick Vidjic. I may not even be saying his name correctly, but I came across this young man over, actually at the beginning of all this, probably our second or third year of the MDIN Network. But you'll understand that you can be happy in any state of mind, but you have to be intentional to be happy. Being happy is intentional. It's not something that just happened, but it's also connected to that joy that you're supposed to have, that joy that cannot be taken away from you. This man has that joy, and there's millions of people around the world that have listened to him and have been encouraged by what he has to say. I'm going to play a little bit about that today.
Hvala puno. Hvala lepo. Guys, my name is Nick Vujicic. I was born in Australia in 1982, moved from Australia to California in the year 2006. And my life story, I'm just thankful that people have seen my life on some sort of level, whether it's just YouTube videos or seeing pictures of a limbless guy smile. People always ask me, what happened to you and how did you overcome what you've been through? The title of the message that I've been given is Transforming the Walls into Doors. When I speak corporately, the line that I like to use is changing obstacles into opportunities. Now, I'm very well aware to share with you as well, I know that there are 1 billion people going hungry today. I know that this year 1 million people will commit suicide. It's 1 every 40 seconds. I know today there are 120 million slaves, and I've met sex slaves, and I've seen the top of the pyramid as far as business and met the billionaires. I've met bankers, and I've also met orphans. We're all looking for something. We're all looking for hope. Hope you can't just have just because you were born with hope. No, we're born with pain. We're born and live through difficulties. And in our life, my parents always taught me that even though we don't know why I was born this way, that we have a choice. Either to be angry for what we don't have, or be thankful for what we do have. The power of that choice was the first thing that I had to overcome and decide for myself, especially in the early years of school. A lot of kids would come up to me and tease me. And I've been speaking at 5 congresses. I've met 7 presidents all around the world. My largest crowd was 110,000. I have 30,000 invitations for me to speak. So wherever I go, I talk about the value of life. I talk about anti-bullying messages for the school systems in different nations. The greatest thing is love. When we feel like we don't have enough love and we don't have enough hope, we start losing strength to live. For me, in my life as a child, I had a big wall. I was surrounded by 4 walls and a low ceiling of opportunity. I was set free in so many different ways, and especially surviving from day to day with my parents who loved me, who encouraged me, who told me that I was beautiful the way that I was, and not to worry about what other people said about me. I was actually the first special needs child to be integrated into the mainstream education system in Australia, and I was awarded Young Citizen of the Year in 1990. And the world is a hurting place, and the world needs hope, and the world needs love. Without hope, we feel like, why are we here? Well, brokenness. Here's mine. Today, I still have no arms, no legs. But everything's changed. Everything. For me, I was looking for hope and happiness, and I couldn't see it for many years. In fact, if this side of the table represents my hope, truth encourages me to become all that I can be. But then we have lies every day coming in our mind, people who discourage us. You know the people that you have in your life who, no matter how good of a day you're having, they'll bring you down. Or no matter how bad of a day you're having, they'll bring you even lower. You know what I'm talking about? Think of the 3 biggest discouragers in your life. They're not your biggest discouragers. You are. You are. It only takes 3 seconds for me to tell you something discouraging. But then you may never forget my words. I've met so many 50-year-old women and 40-year-old women who still remember what their fathers told them that they wish they never heard. Words are powerful. When you hear those words and then your mind starts growing with these lies. Nick, you're not good enough. Nick, just give up. Nick, you're never going to get a job. You won't get married. You can't even hold your wife's hand. What kind of a father are you going to be if you can't even pick up your kids when they're crying? You're alone. Sure, your parents hug you, but their hugs can't heal you. Just give up. 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 At age 8, I thought that I should commit suicide. Why? Because I didn't have hope. I thought I didn't have hope. Today you can see that I had hope. What's the word? Believing in something you do not see. Faith. Words can only do so much. Hugs can do much more than words. But when hugs can't do anything, that's where faith kicks in. For me, words and hugs were not enough, but I had no faith. So I tried to give up. At age 10, tried to drown myself in 6 inches or 15 centimeters of water. In my home, I told my dad I just wanted to relax. But really, I wanted to end my life. I had enough. Dosta mi bio. Okay. The first 2 times I rolled over, I was trying to work out how much air I hold in my lungs before I let it out. And the 3rd time, in my mind, knowing that I wanted to get out of here because of the bullying in my life, because I was going to be a burden to my parents and I had nothing to look forward to, I realized at that moment that if I actually went through with committing suicide, I would leave a greater burden for my parents than they already had. So there was one thing less hopeful or more burdensome than having a child without limbs. What is it? A child without limbs who gives up. So when I saw in my mind my mum and my dad and my brother crying at my grave if I went through with it, that one thought saved me. If my parents never told me that I was beautiful the way that I was, if my parents never told me that I was special and that I was loved, I wouldn't be here today. So I encourage every single parent who tries their best to encourage their teenagers, especially in the West. Many teenagers put a do not disturb sign on their door. I'm sure, the conversations all around the world between a parent and a teenager. How was school? Fine. What'd you learn? Nothing. Did you do your homework? No. And that's the conversation for the day. And when you try to tell your children that they're beautiful, so of course I'm beautiful. I'm your son. I'm your daughter. Of course you're going to say that. But they're right. Every single human being has value, and my value is not determined on how I look or what job I have or where I'm from, where I was born, how much money. All that stuff is nothing. So many teenagers, tease each other for how we look, and I tell the teenagers, do you think that I'm cool enough to be your friend? They're like, yeah, of course. I said, but I have no arms, no legs. And they said, doesn't matter. I said, really? So it doesn't matter that I have no arms, no legs? I said, no, it doesn't matter. I said, then actually, if it doesn't matter, then why do we kill each other with our words if it actually doesn't matter? Why do we look ourselves in the mirror and see ugly instead of valuable? I want to ask you today, what are you looking for? If I gave you $1 billion, would you be happy? If you gave me $1 billion, I'd be very happy. But then if my mum dies tonight, am I happy? No. With all the money in the world, I'll never be happy. Why? Because money is something that cannot heal the soul. So many teenagers are looking for love, which love does heal the soul. Love does complete the soul. But even sex before marriage, I was a virgin before I got married. Yeah, I've got a gorgeous wife. We're pregnant with our first son. And I don't need hands to hold her hand. I only want to hold her heart. And how am I going to hug my kids? So many kids, they come up to me. It's amazing. They put their hands behind their back and hug me with their neck. And I've realized in life, even the worst parts of my life can be turned into good. And they're even more special.
Welcome back to the $1 Million Idea Network. We have a call coming in. Hold on one moment. Hello? Yes, Kid Capri. We have Kid Capri on the line here with us. Hold on one second. We're going to bring you on live. Hold on. Hey, Kid Capri, how you doing today? Excellent, man. First, I want to say thank you for taking time in your busy schedule to check out a small little internet radio station here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, brother, tell us tell us why you're in Charlotte, man. How you impacting the people here?
They really try to take that day and do something for them, change their lives a little bit. And we are just getting support from everybody. So keep the donating at kid.com, GIVAKID. And it's been beautiful, man. So, still got a few days left. If you want to donate, go there to www.kid.com, GIVAKID. And that's what we're doing. So it's going to be a beautiful day that day.
Hey, man, I know you're doing this in many cities. Let our audience know what other cities you're going to be in.
Well, we did presentation for the kids. We gave 50 bags. We gave the top students the biggest bags. Like my daughter Nina Love, she put on for them. She gave the kids stuff like that on stage and just had a big thing of it. Gave them a bunch of gifts and stuff like that. So it was a big day. So this is what I'm going right now.
Okay.
Along the way, I'm going to take care of kids. That has to do with the foundation. So this is something that we've done. I used to take care of the children before I had a name. So I've been a part of it. So we're going to be going to different cities. When we come back, we're doing another thing in New York, and then we're going to Jersey to do something out in New York. Also, I have my real estate company now open, so we're doing a lot of things in New York with the development and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on with Keep a Kid in real estate.
So how did you start doing this? How did you come to the fact you want to give back right now? I heard you do it a few times, but what are ones that made the most impact for you in your life when you started?
I guess Def Comedy Jam was my biggest impact. I did my mixtape thing, and I did my, what I was doing to get to Def Comedy Jam. I guess that was an impact with that stuff. But when I got to Def Comedy Jam, it gave me a chance to go national and show the people that it's what they thought a DJ just was, especially when I come to a city and they see me do a whole lot of times. Ever since then, it's just been, uphill since then. So I was able to lay a foundation down that was really good to open doors for DJs to do what they're doing right now. And I'm glad to be a part of that.
Well, man, again, thank you. Who's going to be with you on Sunday when you come out?
My God, DJ LeBron, that's from down there in Charlotte. He's coming out. DJ Polo's coming out. And, whoever comes out, man, whoever supports us, there's people out there. There's fathers out there. We have people like doctors that support and coming out to take care of, people and nurses and people giving haircuts and stuff like that. All the different companies, Nike and Walmart, Target, Procter & Gamble, Chick-fil-A. There's so many people that's coming aboard that's helping out, man. We just want to thank them, man, and appreciate them, man. I'm going to see them Sunday, and I hope you're there.
Yeah, man, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be able to a whole bunch of people, man, to support you for a great cause, man, and helping them bring it. There's a lot of people that need these book bags, man, and you're someone that's come out to bless the people in the house of Charlotte, man. Well,
we're giving the book bags out, but in the book bags, we're giving out a bunch of things that probably expected, like sneakers and toothpaste and underarm deodorant and stuff that a lot of people really can't afford to get on a daily basis. So we try to give a lot of things. We have book iPads, and all that stuff, school supplies. So it's gonna be all right for the kids, man. It's gonna be all right. And just anybody that wants to donate, CADKID.com and go down to the bottom of the page and donate $1 or $1. But if you donate $50, you win a chance. You can win a chance to win 2 VIP tickets to the parade that's coming out there, and also my classic mixtape. So it's all about Facebook. It's a non-profit organization. We don't see the money. It goes straight to the children. If I get a million people to donate $1, that's $1 million that goes straight to people that need it. So that's the focus right now. So how about if you can, man? Put up down there at the Boys and Girls Club of America and bring clothes or whatever you need to bring, whatever you can. Cool. If you can't do that or can't donate, post the flyer that you see that's on my social media. You can follow Kick It Pre 101 on the Twitter or the Instagram, or the Kick It Pre on Facebook. Grab the flyer, repost it, and that could be your way of awareness out there. So I appreciate everything.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Give me a chance to talk about it.
Oh, not a problem, man. Appreciate you taking the opportunity at your busy schedule, man. So did you get some rest last week? Was it good for you?
Say that again?
Did you get some rest last week?
Man, I'm not, I get rest in spurts, man. I work a lot, I do a lot of things, I travel a lot, when I'm home, I'm in the studio a lot, so I rest here and there. I rest, it depends on how the day is going, but I get enough to keep going and be healthy, so that's good. God has made sure that I've been healthy up to this point, so I'm grateful for that.
Excellent, man. Excellent, man. What's something we need to be looking for from you in the future?
Well, this month, there's a lot of things going on. Right now, I have my show on Sirius XM, Channel 47, every Saturday and Sunday. It's really incredible. Y'all can check it out. It's called the Kick It Pre's Block Party, where I bridge the gap with old and new all together. So that's going on every Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 10. Also, this month, me and my daughter will be on the Growing Up Hip Hop New York with Fat Joe and Ja Rule and Irv Gotti. So that's coming out this month. Y'all can check that out. I'm really interested to see that. I have an album I just finished called Top Tier, and that's incredible. So you're gonna be hearing from that. And a lot of other things. Most of the time you see, I'm always on the road in your city, so you always go and see the flyers and where I'm gonna be at on Kick It Pre 101 on Instagram. You see the flyers, I'm always posting them, but I'm always in your city somewhere. So if I'm in your city, pull up and come see the little party. It's like everybody doing it like a kid. We make it hot, for real.
Oh, for real, man. Again, appreciate you. What's some words you give to some upcoming hip hop and rap artists, man, that focus on their art right now?
I mean, whether it's music or anything that you're doing, do it because you love it. Don't do it because it looks good to you. Don't do it because somebody else is doing it and you see the accolades of them. Because those people that probably did it and got the accolades, they probably worked real hard and they're really passionate about what they did. Whereas somebody else could put themselves in the net and make it seem like they done half the work or a quarter of the work and they haven't done anything nearly what this person has done, but make it seem like the perception is that they've done so much. If you're not really into this and you really don't have the passion for it, then don't do it. Do something that you have a passion for. But if you're really passionate about it and you really love what it's about and you really think about the people and the people first and not you, then more power to you, man. Good luck.
Man, that is fantastic. Man. That's that word, man, passion. That's why we do what we do. And if you can't be passionate about it, man, you might as well stop doing it.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. Everybody want to be a part of it, but it's not for everybody. I remember taking somebody said to me, kid, I want to ride on your tour bus with you, man. I know y'all be having fun, man. Look like it's fun. All right, and I took him on the tour bus, and 2 days later, he said, y'all know how y'all can do this, man. I need to go home. I can't stay on this bus. I can't take it no more. Because it's not made for everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It looks a certain way, and, yeah, it's cute. But the cute part is just the cute part. You don't see the struggle of traveling to get to somewhere to play for a crowd that you don't even know, that you got to go and satisfy. And if you don't do good, you might have an issue at the end of the night. You don't want to net people talking bad. Come on, I don't want to book you no more. Unfortunately, I never had that issue. But these are the things that we go through that people don't see. All they know is the end result. So it's bigger. When you want to get part of this, know what you're getting into before you get into it. And know that you'll be able to be built for it. Because if you're not, you lose the goodness of it, Yes,
man. So they have to be prepared to put the work in. But isn't that for all your your dreams and wishes that you got to put the work in. It ain't gonna be easy because everyone else would do it.
Yeah, but that's somebody that knows that they got to put the work in. For somebody that wants it to be given to them and they want to start at the top and don't work for it, that's a whole different. That's a different story. You see what I'm saying? The person that worked hard and got doors closed in their face and all that, they appreciate what they have and they have a different way of approaching things and they have a different way of being the stage man. They have a different way of communicating with people when they're in front of them. They understand that the business is a business, and that's exactly what it is. It's not a game. It's not nothing that you take as a joke. So, and it could possibly take care of your family for the rest of your life. So it's a matter of how much you put into it, but how serious you are about it. You can go and spend time around it, but you can be spending time around it for the wrong reasons. You can be spending time around it because it's the end thing to do. And and that's what I'm talking about. When you have an abundance of people doing something, it kind of makes them special because the ones that are special that do it really get clouded out when the fake one comes in.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of fake people doing it at one time, and now the new people may think that one was the one that invented it, or that one was the one that started this. So because they don't know no better, they don't go back that far. They don't know that history, or they might not even like music that much to even go in depth that much. You know what I'm saying? And later on, they find out who the original one is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that might think that DJ Khaled started a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my boy, but they might not know that Kid Capri started certain things. They might think Khaled started certain things, and that's all right because those are the fans that he came up with. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you have to look at the world is big. There's a lot of people out there that's doing it, so everybody could be in it, and everybody gets something out of it if they're serious about it.
Man, one more thing before I let you go, man. Can you describe to us the first time how you felt when you was on stage, brother?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, can you describe to us how you felt the first time you went on stage?
The first time I went on stage?
Yes.
That's a whole story, man. It's a long time. The first time I've been on stage, I was 4 years old on my dad's stage when he was performing.
Wow.
So, but the first time me going on stage for myself, I was about 8 years old. DJing with the big guys, the big known dudes at the time, and I just kept going, And then the first time, I tell you this, the first time I got to Madison Square Garden, I knew I landed. I know,
Yes.
there's just certain things I've done that made me know that I really did something. You know what I'm saying? I really did something that changed the culture and changed the world. Even with music, I changed the way R&B was with that when I did the mix for me and Stephanie Mills, and then posted it on there and showed the world it live. But 20-something years ago, it wasn't like that. And when I did that mix, now I make an R&B song with a breakbeat, so it changed the whole game. And that's how it was. So I've done a lot in my career, being on Def Comedy and being on my next TV show, Master the Mix, and winning a Grammy with Jay-Z, and helping a lot of different artists come out, being the first to play their music, and next thing they blow up. So there's so many things I've done and still doing that I'm real proud of, man.
Well, man, that is fantastic. Can you give us one thing to encourage our audience for tonight, man?
Yeah, I mean, fly straight, do good things, live right, and remember, there's always somebody watching. There's always somebody looking at you. There's always somebody that wants content on you. When they see something that you're doing, they want to put it up there and post it, and it's there for the rest of your life. And at the end of the day, it's up to you how you're going to be presented. Presentation is everything. I can give you a plate of food that you like. You're going to eat all that food. I give you that same food on top of a garbage can lid. You're not going to eat it because the presentation is messed up. So you got to think about your presentation, how you want to be looked at. And that's my thing, we get older. So when you're young, you do things that, you wouldn't do when you're older. But then when you get older, you wish you didn't do what you did when you was younger. So you got to think about that, and that's what I'm saying. We have a lot of accessibility right now, so it's easy to get caught up in instant gratification of posts and stuff. application of it, but it's gonna take a long time. You know, LL Cool J told me one day that was real smart one time. He said, if somebody see you, he said, if a person, if you light up a blunt inside of a party, no matter who else is lighting the blunt up, you the one with the name, they're gonna look at you. He said, if it's a dude that's across, he said, if there's a dude that's across from Burger King that want to give you an endorsement deal, he said, you put a blunt in your mouth and light up in the club, that's the end of your endorsement deal before you even got it. And that's the truth. You have to watch your perception. You have to watch how you carry yourself in certain situations. And I'm not saying don't have a good time to live your life, but just carry yourself in a way where it makes people want to be like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta worry about how people think, but just to be innovative and be a leader. You know?
Amen, brother, man. We appreciate you being on. Can you let our people know that where you're going to be at this Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday, from 12 to 2, on the Girls and Boys Club of America, I want to take you to homeless children down there. I'd like to thank all the sponsors that helped out and sending things to me and sending things down there, talking about Target, Walmart, Nike, Procter & Gamble, Chick-fil-A, on and on and on. And, you know, all the people that donated to GiveAKid.com, appreciate y'all for even, you know, taking the time out to even do that. And, you know, it's going to a good cause. When you know that you take care of people that you don't even know, you know, that's a good thing. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's good that you did that because, like I said, you spend $500 in the club on a bottle of something that costs $40 in a liquor store. If you do that, then you go and spend $1 or $2 on a kid that needs it. Like I said, if I get a million people to donate $1, $1, that's $1 million to kids. That could, you know, that could be kids. Like, what we're doing right now is just a small speck of the bigger issue. What I'm doing is just a small thing. You know what I'm saying? Maybe big to them, but it's a small thing compared to what the issue is and how big the issue is.
Right.
So if everybody get involved and help, these kids will be all right. You know what I'm saying? One man can't change the world. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if we all contribute, you know, we in the right direction. So that's where I'm at. Sunday I'm going to be here from 12 to 3 at the Boys and Girls Club of America. Then that night I'm doing, later on that day we're doing the cookout party at Stats, the club Stats. So it's going to be a full day of me getting busy.
All right. Well, Kid Capri, man, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us tonight, man. And we wish you all the blessings here from North Carolina to go forth in victory in all your endeavors. And anytime, man, you want to be on the radio, on MDIN Radio, the $1 Million Idea Network, just give me a holler, man. We'll put you on.
Appreciate you, big fella, man. Thanks a lot for the support. And thanks everybody out there in Charlotte for supporting. And I'll see y'all on Sunday.
All right, brother. Be blessed.
One.
Welcome back to the $1 Million Idea Network Radio. We just had Kid Capri on the line, and we're going to take a brief break, and we're going to talk about what we always talk about here. It's getting across the finish line, getting to the top of the mountain, and we're going to plug up our other laptop here so it comes back on. But we're going to do, we got one more inspirational piece for you. We're going to start out here, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about the history and what we've gone through this year. Again, we want to say thank you to Kid Capri for coming out tonight and giving us some words. And we want to invite you this Sunday to come out with us all also and to be one of those individuals to give $1 to help the homeless and his children here in the Charlotte area. We'll be right back after this.
Becoming a legend yourself in this business. So when I see Will Smith saying, I am legend, I'm thinking, this is Will Smith. I am legend. You are really becoming an iconic figure. What do you make of that?
It's what my grandmother told me I had to do. Yeah. You know, I was sitting with to Tyrese a couple weeks ago. You know, just coming off the Transformers with him, just talk, you know, just about the business and just trying to really just he and I get on the same wavelength, so I could be of some assistance if I can. And there's a concept that I don't want to be an icon. I want to be an idea. You know, I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent magic, right? That you're in a universe and 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 only equals 4 if you accept that 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 is going to be what I want it to be. You know, and there's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice. Like, you just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like, it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and you know, it's hard to put into words, some real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense, but I feel very strongly that we are who we choose to be.
First of all, it's not mumbo jumbo. It makes sense, number one. Number two, I think sales of The Alchemist just went up.
Well,
whatever that book is, the sales just went up on Amazon.com right about now. When that happens, I'm going to call you and say, Will, I wasn't lying. It really went up.
No, it's great.
No,
it's a quick read, too.
Yeah. If you can spell alchemist. That's a good Scrabble word, alchemist.
No, but The Alchemist, right, because it's great. Like, what I consider myself an alchemist. An alchemist is basically a mystical chemist, right? And one of the great feats that alchemists used to do is they would take lead, just take a chunk of lead, and they could turn lead into gold, right? So the symbolism.
Sounds like a good hustle.
All right, no, right?
When I leave here, give me some lead.
Exactly. You know, but I'm so connected to symbolically being able to turn lead into gold. You know, my grandmother used to say, you know, life give you a lemon, you go ahead and make lemonade.
Absolutely.
To me, that's alchemy. That's the same concept behind the alchemist.
I'm with you on the alchemy part. The last question I think I have time to ask, maybe the last question, is whether or not
who's gonna make you leave? This your place.
Well, if you say I gotta leave, I gotta leave. That everybody can emulate.
You know, I have this discussion with, you know, friends of mine all the time. The only thing that I can see, and you can never really look at yourself, the only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill, right? I will run.
You would not be outworked.
I will not be outworked.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
You know, you might have more talent than me. You might be smarter than me. You might be sexier than me. You might be all of those things. You got it on me in 9 categories. But if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's 2 things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple, right? So let's go back to the question about what if people block me out. It's going to be 2 options. I'm going to get back in, or I'm going to be dead. Right? It's like, you're not going to outwork me. It's such a simple, basic concept. It's the guy who is willing to hustle the most is going to be the guy that just gets that loose ball. You know, he got he got 2. Ooh, God, he hustled, he grabbed that one. That was going to be out of bounds, but he saved it back in. It's like the commodity that I see the majority of people who aren't getting the places they want or aren't achieving the things that they want in this business is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities. I say all the time, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
I'm with you.
You know?
That's why he is fast becoming a legend, and whether he likes it or not, an icon and an idea. And that is why I will make a bold prediction here. I Am Legend is going to make some money this week. Domestically and internationally. I got it right now. Will Smith, good to see you, man.
You, baby.
Appreciate you. Love you much. I Am Legend starring Will Smith. Go check it out. You don't need me to tell you that, though. That's how.
Welcome back to the $1 Million Idea Network Radio Show here on MDIN Radio, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Periscope, and we're working on LinkedIn right now. So we've truly been blessed this year. I've had a great day. Great friends have come out and support, and they're all waiting for these videos to come on right now. So we're going to get the videos out. Give us a moment here. We're taking our time to get this stuff done. I just again want to thank Kid Capri for being on. And I see a lot of people are out there listening to us, which we truly appreciate. It's been 10 years. I did not believe it was 10 years. This actually started on a kitchen table 10 years ago, giving a message of information just about business. But the Lord allowed me to find a voice to encourage people and tell them that it's never too late. It's never over. As long as you don't give up, you win. And that's been the message we've been going through. In addition to that whole process, we talked about Earl Nightingale, Les Brown, and in that process to make sure you got that adjustment there. Is that better? I appreciate that. Les Brown, Earl Nightingale, and all the books we've talked about and reading. And so we're just going to throw a couple of names out there to talk about. Again, this is going to be a part 2 because we didn't get to half the videos we're supposed to get to. But God is good all the time. God is good. First of all, I want to thank the great message and opportunity I had earlier today. I actually interviewed my father for his 3rd book, not his 1st book. And we actually had a wonderful conversation, had some memories that came back, and understood that that book he wrote is actually the life that he spent with us. And that truly is a blessing. Again, in addition to that, my daughter, yesterday, I had a clear exam for her brain tumor, and now she's going out to raise money for a brain tumor society. And so that's something to think about. Giving back to those who have given to you, giving back to those who have supported you, and it's part of the act of living. You have to give back. One of the things we talked about several times here over the years is that you have to understand where your true power comes from. People get caught up in different sources of power and really don't have power at all. And what I always tell individuals on the line, the victory is always yours, but your true strength, all your strength is determined by the spiritual strength that you have. That's the connection you have. That's the connection we have with our Heavenly Father and Christ. The Christ inside of you. Again, just reflecting on Kid Capri's interview, he said some very, very powerful things. First, you're going to have to work hard again, and work harder to get where you want to be. But also understand that people are always watching, people are always looking, and that the person that's always looking is God. And that's also the person you have to please, that you have to respond to in the effect. So we're going to take a brief break. We're talking about what we always talk about here is getting you across the finish line, getting you to the top of the mountain so you can see the view. And there's a view enough for everyone to get to the top of the mountain. No one needs to be at the bottom. No one needs to be left behind. Everyone can get to the top. And how do you get to your top? It's by doing your thing, your vision, and mission that was given to you by God. We're going to take a brief break. This is one of our shows we have coming up. Let's advertise for it. The Ride Home. We'll talk about that when we get back.
The Ride Home on MDINradio.com. That punch you need to get you home with your eyes open and safe on the way home. Ride on MDINradio.com.
Oh, we lost connection. Oh, there it is. Welcome back to the $1 Million Idea Network Radio Show here on MDIN Radio Media, MDIN TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live. We're doing our first live show here. And we're talking about what we always talk about. That's getting across the finish line, getting to the top of the mountain. You can see what the Lord has for you, and you have to tell your story. And so we're going to tell a little bit about some of the people that helped us get through this process. The first person 10 years ago who gave me my first social media job. I actually was transmitting on Blog Talk Radio from the City of Columbia Mall downtown. And we had a great time. That's Mr. Desmond Hines. We're throwing a name out there. And we'll have him soon on the show because now we're not going to get everything done we want done here today. So we're going to have a part 2. So I'm going to invite you to come back next week to find the rest of the story. Also including that, I have to throw out big ups to my friend out there, Mr. Bill Gardner, and the motorcycle rider with the Harley that he gave to me. I've said it out on the air now. Thank you. Of course, I got to reach out to MTC Art World, my brother Carl, the artist and sculptor and leather maker, etc., etc. And so these are some gentlemen that were in my life that helped me come through this process. And of course, my father. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for him. And then the individuals that started giving me the first introduction to the TV life. Mr. Elder Burroughs. Yes, co-host and host extraordinaire at Access 21. Truly blessed to have the opportunity to be on his show and also co-host the show. Well, we just fast forward across 10 years. We're not going to do that anymore. We'll take you a brief break again, and we're going to pull up some more video, and we're going to talk about the rest of the story. course, I feel that you need to hear this one more time, entrepreneur. This is the juice to make you go running. Right back.
What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? In a world of inaction, over-promising and under-delivering, every second man seems to claim himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that would never call himself an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone that is happy to work while all others are out partying. An entrepreneur's drug is success. He is addicted to success. And finally, the entrepreneur knows one simple fact. I will make it, maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely.
You have to hustle. You have to think outside of the box to make things happen when it seems impossibly difficult for anything to happen. To continue to get up off of the canvas when you are beaten down relentlessly.
Win or learn. I never lose. I will succeed, not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. I will take action when others hesitate. I will think big when others don't. I will sacrifice when others won't. I will dare to dream of greatness when others fear it. I will outwork my competition day and night. I am the captain of my fate, the master of my soul, the boss of my dreams, the king of my goals.
You have to be a leader, to be unique, to be hungry always and never satisfied. Proud, but never satisfied. To be followed by the competition. To take criticism and negativity and use it to build your greatness, to survive the storms and the tough moments, to be humble in the good times. It is sacrificing your today for a better tomorrow. It is living a few years of your life like others won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like others can. That sacrifice, the dedication, the commitment, the discipline. Only rare human beings have these qualities. Only the very best among us. Then there's failure. Because we all know that it is coming, it is human nature. I mean, find me a successful human that has never failed. You can't, they don't exist. The only difference between the extremely successful among us in any field and the unknown, the only difference, the successful guy didn't give up. He found a way when there seemed to be no way. The other guy, he threw in the towel. Failure is simply learning another way not to do something. There are great lessons in failure.
When it comes to success, there is rarely ever a time when luck comes into play.
Hard work, however, always comes into play. There is no greater satisfaction in life than that of hard work paying off. No greater satisfaction than knowing you are self-made. Take action while all others are sitting on their hands. The great difference between the somebodies and the nobodies very often only comes down to who is willing to take action, who is willing to put in the work, the grind. Are you willing?
Test 1, test 2, test 3. Gotcha, we're back. We're doing that remote thing here, so it's working pretty good, but sometimes we have our technical challenges. But back to the story I was telling that you didn't hear. My father was on his way to work early one morning. I had to be maybe around the age of 5 or 6 or even 7. But in this process, my mother had to drop him off at work, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And so she took all of us with us to drop him off. And going to work, we have to go across this long bridge that goes over the top of the Genesee River. And as we went across this river, there was a man standing in the middle of the bridge. Now, even at that young age, I knew he shouldn't be there at this time of day. And so one of the things I remember of my father is that he actually slowed down and rolled down his window and had a conversation with this man. And he gave him a few words, and he understood that he was valued, that whatever he was thinking about, just go ahead and keep walking because it's going to be different in the morning. And that he encouraged this man not to do anything crazy on that bridge. That's how powerful words are. And there weren't many, but they were to his heart, and that man felt them. And as I looked through the back window, I saw him continue to walk, and he made it across that bridge. You never know who you come across in life that you have an opportunity to speak life. The opportunity to tell them that it's not over. You still can make it. Someone loves you, and you can get across the finish line. That's what we're about here. That's what we talk about. That's what we encourage. That's what we teach. Because the victory is already yours. You just have to accept the fact that the battle's not yours, and you just have to walk through the process to get to the top of the mountain. And on the beginning of every part of a mountain is a valley. No one wants to be in the valley. It's that hard work, that perseverance, that endurance, that fainting not that gets you your mission, your vision, and your goal. All that is done and already been laid out for you. But you have to believe the fact in you that you're supposed to win. You know, a little bit ago we played the Will Smith narrative, and he was talking about if you believe you're going to win, you win. But if you believe you're going to lose, you're going to lose. I'm saying you're supposed to win. We'll be back with a brief break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the $1 Million Idea Network. Again, we're going to be closing out a little early here. We have about 10 minutes left here, but we're going to have the rest of the story next Thursday. So we're going to put all the events and send out all the invitations, and we may have a group here next time to talk about what we always talk about. Because I had most of the people were required to send me video, audios, promos, all that good stuff. We're still going to use that. So I want to thank them in that process for taking time out to contribute to the process that we have here at the $1 Million Idea Network. Just want to talk about a couple of things that are coming up. We have some promos coming up for Elder Burroughs, BTG Ministries. His Roku channel will be coming out strong September 15th. And you'll be able to look up BTG Ministries in Roku and find Elder Burroughs. Very excited about that. That's another avenue and venue he's going to have available to him. Also, in addition to that, we have She Wealth, which we'll be talking about for the rest of the week and also next week at this time. And she has a women's conference that will be coming out in November. In addition to that, we'll also have Miss Sutton, Linda Sutton's Tutu Tango intro for her season this year. And then also the thing we're very, very excited about is the play Stuck. We have a special segment will be coming out for that. And also some special announcements going forward about that also. We had a wonderful time at the Play Stuck. That was downtown Charlotte. So we're very excited about that, and you're going to have some fantastic news about that. And also what's coming up, the Gospel Image Awards. So we're going to talk about that also and how you can become part. And then also you can have a nominee in that process. Again, we're talking about what we always talk about here. And what do we want to play here at the end before we start? Again, just want to thank everyone for the support. Again, this is going to be a part 2. We're going to close out here. I want to thank Kid Capri for being on tonight, and also all the people who made that happen. And we'll be reaching out to them in contact with them. And also join us tomorrow when we have our first episode season for Victory Friday. Why Victory Friday? Because you got through the whole week with your whole mind and your whole body, and you need to celebrate because there are small victories along the way to get to the big one. But you have to remind yourself your value in order in that process to celebrate. Again, we'll take a brief break and then we'll close out here on the $1 Million Idea Network Radio, TV, business exchange, social media, website production, video production, all here. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, my name is Charlie Childs Jr., and all the individuals that I coach and families that have helped put financial plans together for the future and protection, we always talked about planning and being intentional about what you do. That's why it's important to talk about planning what your wealth is, how to receive your wealth, how to maintain your wealth, and how to manage it. So in the series that we're going to have here, we're going to give you the basics in finance, give you an understanding that you need to have multiple streams of income. And also in that process, we'll give you some of the secrets that I've worked with different founders over the last 20 years so they're successful in planning their future. Of course, we're going to talk about starting your own business. We're going to talk about real estate. Also at the same time, what type of assets you should have in your portfolio in order to have your money work for you 24/7. All that is important in the legacy of wealth that you leave your family. And that's why we named it this series, Legacy of Wealth. We'll have videos, we'll have experts talking separate issues, also projects that you can do in order to make sure that you have the knowledge and information you need to maintain, increase the income in your life and show you how to manage the income correctly. Here on Legacy Wealth, only on MDINradio.com.
Go ahead and transition back. Welcome back. Here we're closing out here. Today I want to thank everyone for the production here. 5, 4, 3, 2. It works in the movies. There you go.
It's about 5 seconds behind.
Delay. Yeah, we have that time delay here. But it's all good. Again, we're talking about Kid Capri, man. We just appreciate him coming out tonight and represented. And he's got some wonderful things going on. So look forward to some of that information on our site. We kick some of the things out also on our YouTube channel, our Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. Also, you can listen to MDIN Radio and watch MDIN TV on MDIN Media. And also, in addition to that, I have the brothers here and elder brothers here tonight. I want to thank them for hanging out and he was the engineer tonight.
Okay, so he's
In training.
Well, did great job.
Too loud, too loud. Okay. Also, I want to thank Bill for being on. He texted me and also told me it was pretty loud too. But we're all here in good fun, man. I appreciate everybody. And also, the artist is here. The artist is in the room now.
In the house.
Somebody's got to do it.
The artist called Carl Childs.
Thank you.
So, time's winding down here again. It's about having fun. It's about living life and understanding that it's never too late. You know, we talked a lot about Nick Vigic, which I introduced you to. We talked about, heard from Will Smith. And those two gentlemen come from different dynamics. But understand this, they all have a message for you. And when you look at Nick Vigic, think about it. That man is married and has 2 children, not 1. But he has no arms and no legs. Whatever is going on in your life right now, if you still have your arms and you still have your legs, you're doing pretty good. Be blessed and highly favored. And for today, that is all I got.
Yes, sir.
After that kind of sign off, you got to get on the plane.
I hear you. I hear you.
After that kind of sign off, you got to get on a plane. You don't need anything around.
Touch it with me, my brother.
All right, we are.
That was good, man. I know I witnessed a short when you interviewed me a couple of times, but this is the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
This is the whole
Yeah, you got to be anointed to do this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of moving parts.
My